Hello everyone, Mike here again, and today I'm going to talk about how you can use a reward for a bad habit for a good habit. So how do you switch the actual action that you don't want to get the reward you do want? And this is common in most bad habits. When you have a bad habit, it is because your brain wants something that it considers to be good. Like if you, my previous habit was to come home after work and to relax, which usually meant having something to eat, sit in front of the TV, putter around, not do much of anything really of any value. But now my habit is to get into my workout gear, and I go for a run after work every day. And it doesn't matter rain or shine, how I feel, I always go for a run. Like today, I went for my run. I didn't expect it to be as short as it was, but I did go. And so that's the point, right? Every day I went for a run. And why? Well, because I needed to have some separation between work and my evening, my social time, and even my self time. So to have that break, I used to either do it in a car driving home, or at home watching TV or something. That was the break. And unfortunately, that bad habit of sitting and relaxing is to get that break doesn't do you any really good, right? Whereas now my habit of running every day does give me a chance to think about the day and get recharged for the evening, so I can actually be with the people I'm with in the evening. So how do you take an old bad habit and convert it into, change that into a good action for the get the reward you want? So you got to remember, the reward is what drives the habit, right? So all habits are built out of the 4 pillars. We've talked about them lots: the cue, the motivation, the action, and the reward. The thing is that the reward that you have can give you can be gotten by many different things, right? Doesn't matter what the reward is, you can come up with many actions that would get you the same reward. So I'll give you an example. Say you feel you need some excitement in your life, right? Your habit maybe now is to sit and watch action movies, right? That's the excitement you get out of your life. Well, it doesn't seem exciting after a while, and it becomes a bad habit where you're sitting doing nothing, right? But you have to get more and more violent shows to give you the same feeling that you had before, right? So instead of watching the A-Team type action TV movies, you now are watching John Wick and thinking, this is what I really need. I need more of this, right? Not that I have anything against John Wick. I've enjoyed a couple of those shows. They're fantastic. But the point is that if it's a habit to get you to get excited, then maybe there's some other actions that you can use to get some excitement in your life. Like maybe you could go try, let's see what we have here. You can play a competitive sport. You can go out and meet somebody new. You can go bungee jumping or some other kind of action activity like that. And those are all actions that give you excitement, right? You can go whitewater kayaking. You can there's lots of different things you can do that would put excitement in your life besides watching TV, right? So how about another one? Let's desire to relax like me after my run. I'm relaxed, right? Well, maybe you need something other than smoking a cigarette or having a drink that makes you relaxed. Well, You could meditate, you could exercise, you could do some deep breathing exercises, you could have a long conversation with your spouse or partner. These are all relaxing activities. You can get a massage, right? These are different activities you can do that'll get you the reward of relaxation. All right, so the lesson here is that the reward that you're getting from your bad habit can be got by other actions, right? And so what you have to do to change that bad habit is to figure out what the reward actually is, which sometimes can be difficult. But once you've figured out what the actual reward is, then you can back it up a step and say, okay, what actions can I do that will get me the same reward? And sometimes you'll have to do a little sleuthing. Sometimes, you'll have to try a few things, and if the bad habit still feels urgent, then that's not the reward you're actually after, right? So you figure out what the actual reward is. Once you've got that, then you can figure out what action you're going to do. Now, once you have the reward, then you make a list of all the actions that you can do that would be good habits rather than bad habits. So in the situation of wanting to be able to relax, well, maybe it's to do some deep breathing. Maybe it is to do some meditation. Maybe it's to sit down and journal for a while. Whatever it is, that action has to be able to be a habit, because in the previous example, bungee jumping, you're probably not going to go bungee jumping every day. Well, hopefully not. It gets a little expensive. But if you have a habit that you can do every day, just like the bad habit you do every day, then you can replace that action with the bad, unwanted habit. All right, now, so if it's still difficult to do your new habit rather than your old habit, then do what James Clear suggests in his great book Atomic Habits, is to make the bad habit more difficult to do. And this means that you move things around, you hide things on yourself, or you just make it so that it's further away or something like that. So if you want to break the habit of watching TV, then put the TV in the closet. Unplug it, put it in the closet. And that way, when you have to watch TV, you'll have to go get the TV, set it up, plug it in, and all that other stuff. And that way you have the chance for your brain to say, do I really want to do this bad habit, or do I want to try this new habit? Okay, and finally, if you're still having difficulty with the bad habit, just is still working at you, then probably what just happened is you haven't properly identified your reward. So go back again, consider what the reward is, and you might have to do this a few times. And once you've got the reward and you've got an action that will provide that reward, then you'll be in good shape. All right, that's all I have for today. So we'll talk to you soon.